Assalamu alaikum. We have Riyaaz, Jivraj, and Aliraza Manekia with me. So we have come to the end of day one. All the games have been finished. So we will talk about overall how the games have gone, which team has been good, which team has surprised you, which team has disappointed you, and then we'll talk about the leaderboard so far and looking into tomorrow's thing. So Riyaaz, let me start with you. Overall, who do you think has been good, and then who is some surprise games or some that you feel a little disappointed because there was more expectation of them?
Yeah, so in the games that that we were able to watch today in Court 1, there was a few upsets. And, after watching Allentown United beat, I think they beat Stanmore. And after watching Stanmore losing also to, I think New York Union it was. I mean, I was shocked as to the results of these games. I think Allentown United with Manji and Sumar have a solid team, and even Semi is there. Solid team. I think they'll definitely. They surprised me today by playing the way they did, and so did Minnesota. Minnesota played amazing. What I was disappointed about was watching Stanmore lose two games that were pretty crucial for them to win. And maybe they were just getting used to the ground or whatever, but these are crucial games that you need to win for the placings. So Stanmore was sort of disappointing to watch. They played their hearts out, but obviously they didn't get the win. So I would watch out for Minnesota. I would watch out for Allentown United. I'm sure they will be there, in the top 8. So those are the games that I saw today.
Ali, how about you? The games that you saw, regardless of which court it is, what were your observations as far as which teams were good, which were disappointing?
So, obviously, Orlando A is putting up a good show. The last game we just saw Imran Jivraj hit a spike onto Maysam's chest. But in Court 2, which I was focusing mainly on, we had some very good games from the youth teams. Van City Youth picked up their first ever victory, which was well deserved. Orlando Union C has been putting up a good show. As a matter of fact, they had very long rallies versus Orlando Union A, and Orlando Union A weren't taking it easy on them. They were pounding on them, but I guess the advantage is they practice, with Orlando A, so that's a good advantage. Allentown United, the youth team. There, it reminds me of Allentown Challengers in the making, to see the grandkids of Kade, Sammy's son, Kausar's son. I mean, Kausar's son is a replica of Kausar, So I think those games show that the future of volleyball will continue, and I'm glad to see the youth participation. But obviously the Stanmore 2 loss, I wasn't expecting those 2 games for them to lose like that. But I guess maybe jet lag. It's day 1. Tomorrow's a different day, so we look forward to seeing them tomorrow.
So as far as Stanmore is concerned, even though it's day 1 and there is jet lag and all that, but it does make a difference in standings, right? I mean, you want to be in the top 3, top 4. So that you get an easy match, and as you drop down in the standings, you are now potentially looking at going through Orlando Union, maybe in the semifinals, or Minnesota or somebody like that. It just makes it a little harder. Gentlemen, you guys mentioned some of the teams. 2 teams I didn't hear from you: Toronto North and United Stars. How have those 2 performed so far?
So I watched 3 games of United Stars here, and honestly, I didn't see Turab as Turab. He didn't play the way he usually plays. Hence, I think they lost 2 out of those 3 games to very mediocre teams. You cannot afford that in today's rounds. So United Stars, I'm sure they'll be here tomorrow, but today I think their showing was just as good as Stanmore's. You know, they were okay. You know, they beat the teams we knew they were going to beat, but the teams that were sort of mediocre ended up beating both these teams. So United Stars, I'm sure tomorrow is a different day. I hope that we see a better United Stars show coming in. Toronto North, you can never count Lambada out. Lambada is he's a solid player. We watched him play. All their games have been close. They could have won, but they lost. Some of them, some of the close ones they won. I would not count him out. I still see him in the top 3 or 4, by the time we're done tomorrow.
So my conclusion as far as United Stars is concerned is that they played so good in round robin in Stenmore, and then they stumbled. So maybe they have changed the script. Maybe stumble in the beginning and then make a run in the playoffs. And they have the team to make a run, right? They have a team to make a run. Ali, Orlando youths and youngsters who are playing, you have a great hand in making, these youngsters become top players. When you look overall in this tournament, there are so many youngsters. There are so many youth teams, Vancouver, Minnesota, Allentown, our teams, I think 3 of them. I mean, the future of volleyball seems in good hands, isn't it?
Oh, definitely, without a doubt. As a matter of fact, I think we have the youngest player to play in a tournament is playing for Orlando. Is it D? Hassan Karmali, Abbas Fundi's son. And this kid, Limbada, comes up to me and is like, this kid is taking unbelievable balls out of the net. I mean, he's what, 4 foot something, but it's athleticism to the next level. So yes, now other kids see that at his age doing it, so it makes them come back to the court. So yeah, definitely the legacy will continue. This is probably this tournament I see more youths than the adult teams. I'm glad to see Banji and Allentown United, that type of teams. But yeah, the future is going to be continuing.
There was another kid, if you remember, in the opening ceremony, he recited Surafatia. He's from Vancouver playing for Minnesota B. They had to put a chair for him so that people can see that's how it is. If we can look at the leaderboard, hopefully the media team can put a leaderboard for us so that we can look at it. But obviously, Orlando Union is leading right now. And I think Minnesota has lost only 1 game. This was the only game they lost, probably. Yeah, right? Minnesota has lost only 1 game, so they...
I want to comment something on Minnesota. I don't know if Riyaaz, if you noticed their formation. The previous game, which they won, I saw Imran Walji and Mason playing on the back wings, and then they were attacking from the sides. I was surprised at this game. They put Imran Walji back left and put Mason back center. So at the end, I mean, they changed, put Imran Walji back, but I think that formation with the 2 wings attacking gives them more freedom to come in, to the center position and attack. And that formation was working out very well for them,
So they have put a leaderboard. Unfortunately, all 3 of us are old. I don't think we can see it. So let me see if I can pull it on my screen. Oh, you can see. Ali can see. So we have. So I'm gonna just name few, right? So it says Orlando Union B played 6-1-6, but I believe Orlando Union B is unbeaten.
Yeah, so according to this, Orlando Union B is unbeaten. I believe they beat Toronto North. And I'm not sure who else they played, but I know one of the strong teams is Toronto North. They should take this into tomorrow, because I honestly feel that Orlando Union B team is very capable of making it to the semis and to the finals. If they get their heads together, And if they believe, I think they do believe in one another. And you know, from what I saw them play against North today, against you know, Limbada, they played amazing. So they have it in them, and I'm not surprised that they're leading the board right now.
So, according to this standing, Ali, there are only two teams unbeaten: Orlando Union A and Orlando Union B, and both have played 6 games. New York Union Islanders have played 7 games and they've lost only 1. And the one that they lost, actually, I believe they lost to Challengers, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, Allentown United. They lost to Allentown United, so they are up there. And that's a team that's in rebuilding mode, if you really look at it. They are not there yet, but they have the pieces to go to. And then obviously Minnesota Jaffreys have lost 1. Stanmore, Toronto North have lost 2, and so has United Stars. Van City has also lost only 2. So that is one team I believe not many people know of, Van City, right? They haven't been, they don't have a history of participating in any of these tournaments. I believe they were there in the Minnesota tournament and they've been to Edmonton. They can make a run.
I saw their team. Yes, they have a chance. But going back to New York Union, you're right. They are in the rebuilding mode, and I saw Mojack play, and this guy he was just playing lights out, very open-heartedly, controlling the ball, and I think that's also a team that you shouldn't count out because, like you said, they're in rebuilding mode and they're going all out. You know, and Orlando Union B. The toughest match, I think, tomorrow, one of the toughest match will be watching Orlando B playing Orlando A because they play each other in practice. With this, if Riyaaz, like what he said, if they go with this momentum, Orlando A will have a tough time with Orlando B team. That's a good game to watch.
So looking at the leaderboard, I mean, it's stacking up pretty good. You know, New York has lost 1, Minnesota has lost 1, Allentown United has lost 1. And then obviously Union, Orlando A and B have not lost. And then you have teams like Stanmore and United Stars who have lost 2, but they can make a run. So it looks to me like this is going to be pretty good. What are some of the games you are looking forward to tomorrow other than Orlando A versus Orlando B?
Obviously Orlando versus North. Orlando A versus North. Limbada, I would not count him out. In my opinion, I had a discussion with someone. I think he's one of the top 3 players right now, you know, out there today. So I wouldn't count him out. Obviously, they're not the same team that was in New York when they played against Orlando in the semifinals. They're missing a few players, but, you know, they're adjusting. But I think that's one of the best matches to look forward to tomorrow for me.
How about you, Riyaaz?
I would love to see the rematch of the semifinals in Stanmore with Orlando Union A versus Stanmore. That is going to be a game that, you know, it's almost like a finals game. Every time they meet each other, they leave everything on the court, and that's one game that I'm interested to watch tomorrow. The other game is Orlando Union B versus Turab versus United Stars. So these are the matches that are going to test these teams, and you know, they're definitely going to leave everything on the court, and you know, it's too bad there's going to be one winner, but I mean, these games tomorrow is going to be some really nice games, and you know, I would recommend everybody to kind of get on YouTube and watch these games. You know, one of the things, Ali, I wanted to get back to you regarding Minnesota. Minnesota, I think Imran is at a point where he wants to see somebody like Matham and, you know, and the other supporting players get the experience, step up to the plate and take the position that he usually plays. So I feel playing against a team like Orlando A, putting himself on the side, and putting somebody like Matham in the middle, giving him that experience, I don't think Matham's ever going to forget that game, right? But he's going to come back with more vengeance because he wants to show Orlando Union that he can beat them. So I think it's medicine and it's a cure that is going to come. You will probably see somebody like Matham in 2 or 3 years being one of the top players here.
It's ironic you say you don't think Mason will forget that game. I don't think he will. After Imran spiked to him like that on his chest, come on, Riyaaz. No, I agree with you. He gave him a chance, but that team is just lacking, and I was telling this Imran Walji or Mason, one strong attacking frontline player, and that will make that, because they have the netties, they have the back line, just one strong attacking frontline front center or front side player that can take some points. That team is definitely a contender for a final.
I think as far as Minnesota is concerned, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. You can see that they are knocking the door, right? They are, I mean, to me, if somebody would have asked me, everybody was talking about Orlando Stenmore finals, and then obviously you got North and you got Stars, and you ask most of the people, those are the 4 teams they will tell you. Nobody obviously saw Allentown being Allentown the way it is, but Minnesota is one team that I feel can really make some noise and knock the door. Ali, top 10 teams are qualifying in the playoffs. Orlando C is 11 right now. You think they make it?
After seeing them play Orlando A and the energy they had, yes, they can make it. They're a contender to be in that 10th spot. And obviously, I think there's going to be one big or a couple of major upsets, and they are one of the contending team that will make an upset on someone. You know, the Utes, I mean, your son is in there, my son's in there. These guys have so much energy. They have nothing to lose, you know, and they're trying to follow the footsteps of their elderlies, you know, their Orlando B and Orlando A team, you know, and that's the advantage that we have, is that relationship, you know, between the younger and the older kids.
I don't know, Riyaaz, if you saw that game between Orlando A and Orlando C. Orlando A, Ali and I were standing together. Orlando A was not, they didn't change their formation. They were going with the way they normally go, and they didn't slow down. They were hitting. And these guys were replying. I think as far as Orlando C, Ali, correct me if I'm wrong, or as far as they are concerned, sometimes that experience plays a huge part. They're all young. And I noticed that when they start giving points, they give 2-3 points in a row, and that makes a huge difference. Gentlemen, it's been a good first day. I think it's going to be a better second day because we have a lot of good games, and then hopefully the playoff starts tomorrow evening. So hopefully we'll see you in a few hours. All right. Thank you very much, guys.